Trucking has completely went flat bottom, man. I can honestly tell you these past 3 weeks, this is including the third week that I'm in right now, you get a few runs here and there. I'm in Chicago, right? And it's getting bad. I don't know, what do you tell your drivers, right? You just give them the whole concept of be patient. Obviously, watching the news, I'm not only a truck driver, I own trucks. I got drivers, man, I don't know what else to say or do. Obviously, Trump is doing what he needs to do, right? On paper, it looks good. It looks right.
I beg your pardon?
But we're going to have to try to weather the tide, you know what I'm saying? But, man, I mean, it's getting bad, right? And I know a lot of people in other businesses that are complaining too, right? Everybody's watching the news, waiting for this whole situation to die down with this whole tariff thing back and forth. And I don't see no end in sight.
I've been trucking 34 years. This is 2008 all over again. Ooh, that is not good. Oh my God, delusional. Trump doing good? Do you hear yourself? How does what Trump is doing look good on paper? He's destroying your industry, bro. And I don't think they get it, man. Even on paper, it doesn't sound right. Because other people had mentioned that this is going to devastate them severely, and they didn't listen. If this was Biden, the tone will be different.
He ain't lying.
He bankrupted every business he had. What made people think he could run a country? I think the second time around is when they're going to learn.
Trucking in the United States is getting ready to suffer. And truckers who depend on those shipments for their jobs are going to be unemployed. Especially if you're operating on the west coast of America. Because all those shipments that go to China that aren't going to happen because of the tariffs, those shippings go to California ports. Well, in May of 2020, during COVID, there was 50 blank sailings in California going to China. That means canceled sailings where full ships would go to China. Now, 50 in 2020 in COVID. This past month and the beginning of April, there's been 80 already. And someone said it. This is going to make COVID look like good times.
Truckers for Trump, no pity. They know who they voted for. Still can't believe the transport union sided with Trump. Relax, he's making America great again.
So I'm at work right now, but I am reading this article from Freight Waves. They're saying that layoffs are going to hit the freight-related companies across Southwest or Southeast. More than 1,800 jobs cut in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina. So, question is, are we doing great yet?
It's starting with the truckers, then stores and restaurants. It's like a domino effect at this point. But Cheetos said he was going to create more jobs. Donald Duck is still blaming Biden.
Sleepy Joe Biden's crooked Joe Biden, crooked Joe Biden, Biden, Joe Biden.
America's supply chain is about to snap. Drivers pulled off the road, imports slowing, prices rising. You're about to feel it, and it's going to be fast. On April 28th, 2025, President Trump's executive order enforcing strict English proficiency for commercial drivers combined with rising tariffs could trigger a domino effect unlike we've ever seen before. 350,000 truckers are at risk of losing their livelihoods. These aren't just numbers. Truckers are responsible for moving everything from food to fuel and medical supplies to electronics. Without them, the entire supply chain is in serious trouble. But that's not all. Rising tariffs on goods from overseas and slowing shipping are already putting a squeeze on the flow of products into the country. This double blow could mean more than just a temporary inconvenience. The consequences are real and they're coming. So here's what we could be looking at. Food shortages. No trucks mean no fresh foods. Shelves empty fast. Milk, eggs, bread gone. Without international shipping, also slowing, even canned goods could vanish. Prepare now or go without. Fuel shortages. Gas stations run dry. No deliveries means no fuel. Prices skyrocket as demand outpaces supply, especially with rising tariffs on imported oil. Supply chain breakdown. From medicine to electronics, supplies stop flowing. Stores close, factories halt. With imports crawling and trucks parked, shortages hit every sector.
It's easy to fool someone, but very hard to convince them they were fooled. This is scary. I don't understand why more people aren't worried. I don't think people know how and where they get goods and foods. people don't seem to have a bit of urgency. I think in some ways people are just waiting for change to happen. Maybe they're waiting to see if maybe tomorrow Trump decides to make a change, or maybe a substitute comes in, like another country decides to replace that empty space that China was providing. So rent or food is what you're implying. It's not looking good. But let me know what your thoughts are on this, because this is some scary times.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing out there today? I hope you're doing well in the middle of Donald Trump's failed economic and trade policies. More and more American industries are beginning to get hit by the problems that Donald Trump is creating all by himself. For those of you that don't know, I am a truck driver. I'm sitting in my truck right now. I know this industry pretty well, and I was here the last time Donald Trump crashed it through denying COVID, which maybe we'll talk a little bit about in this video. I'll give you a little history lesson on how all that went down. But I want you to understand something. I am not a Donald Trump supporter. I've never voted for Donald Trump. I've never flown a MAGA flag anywhere in my life. As a matter of fact, I've always known that he offers absolutely nothing to working class Americans. And I want to point that out before somebody puts me in one of those fuck around and find out memes on the internet. I never voted for that in my life. I know I look like a dumb hick, but I don't always act like one. I don't always act like one, okay, my friend? So, yeah, don't turn me into a goddamn meme on the internet, all right? I've always been against this bastard. Anyways, we have got major problems coming down the line for trucking. I said in yesterday's video that we tend to lag behind the economy because a lot of things are shipped in on the shipping containers. That takes time, according to one of my viewers, around 20 days to make that trek. And then we move everything that's already come in, and that takes us, you know, a week to move it across the entire country. And that causes a huge lag before we really start to feel the effects of what is going on. And now we're starting to see it in the shipping, in the ports. All the products coming into America, and pretty soon here that's going to affect trucking in a very, very negative way. And the vast majority of truck drivers, for some fucking reason, vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly, and it's unfortunate that I'm probably going to get hit by this too, but I've always said since the beginning of this that unfortunately we're going to have to go through these bad times, because maybe in the future, if we survive this, people will be more responsible with their fucking votes. But I don't really know. But one of my viewers is also a truck driver, said he noticed that he works out of the ports, and said that he has noticed a significant slowdown over there, which I thought was interesting news. But what I thought was even more interesting was I was talking to another truck driver that didn't have his head all the way up Donald Trump's ass. And that was truly the most shocking part of the entire conversation. So shout out to that guy for getting his head on straight too. I don't know if he was ever supporting Trump or not, but apparently not now. So that's good news. Anyways, the ports are definitely starting to slow down, and there is some metrics you can track to see this. And one of those is called, what was it called? Hold on. I had to go look it up because I keep forgetting the term, but it's called blank sailing. And blank sailing means that there are shipping ships out there that are skipping over ports because they don't have enough product going to that specific port, so they just move on to the next one. Or I guess from what I read, it's entirely possible that the entire ship gets canceled because there's just not enough freight to move. And that is the biggest metric that we are seeing now, and that is going to hit the ports. According to the experts, it's really going to get bad right around the 1st of May. And that means all the truck drivers that are hauling out of those ports to provide goods to the American population are going to quickly find themselves out of a job, no work to do whatsoever.
Farmers, truckers, car salespeople, Orange is putting everyone out of a job. I like how they've just given him the nickname Orange instead. What can truckers do to mitigate this? My family is already struggling. This is stressful. I hope so, because this insufferable guy I know is a trucker, and he voted for Trump, and he's always so wrong.
Truckers will lose their jobs in droves thanks to the trade war. Tariffs will drastically reduce imports, and imports account for 40% of everything truckers move. Want to get rid of things for truckers to transport? You get rid of truckers too. This is especially bad news for truckers because they were already majorly struggling before the trade war. Truckers were just dealing with a 3-year recession. This is because there was already less stuff for truckers to haul thanks to the spiraling prices, which made people buy less. So now that tariffs will force prices even higher and reduce imports, truckers will have it harder than ever. We've already seen trucking manufacturers lay off people because they anticipate fewer people will want to buy trucks because less goods will be transported. The bottom line is that truckers will be collateral damage in this trade war. There is absolutely no way to get around it. Remember, even if more people buy American, America still can't replace all of the stuff that it gets from overseas. So, either way, there will be less stuff for these truckers to transport.
Thoughts and tariffs. I mean, that's all you can say at this point.
The PSA for all my truckers out there, man. If you're not running food, fuel and energy, or electrical equipment to keep this power line going, bro, get out of those contracts. They're gonna get shut down. Get out.
A lot of people be asking me, does it gonna get fixed? Is it gonna get better? I have no fucking clue what is gonna happen because day by day it's getting worse and worse. I have no clue. I haven't seen trucking industry like this in the past 10 years.
Trucking has completely went flat bottom, man. I can honestly tell you these past 3 weeks, it's getting bad.
Someone said if you really want to know what's going on, listen to the truckers. So I searched and I found hundreds and hundreds of those videos. 75% of truckers voted for Donald Trump. I don't want to say you're entering your fuck around and find out phase, but it's like that's exactly what's happening. You are getting exactly what you voted for. You guys are getting laid off. You're not having jobs to fulfill because the shipment yard is empty. Companies are canceling their shipments because of Donald Trump's tariffs. Blanket tariffs. Something he said his whole entire election cycle that he was going to do. Something that we screamed from the mountaintops was a horrendous idea. And yet here we are. You guys are losing your jobs and struggling to feed your families. And our prices at the stores, all of our prices at the stores, are going to go up. Donald Trump's America, man. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Make sure you go and check her out. With the farmers and now the truckers, I think they're gonna need a big boat. Now we're seeing all of them find out after we told them. I'm a trucker driver. My fellow drivers are out here blaming Biden because they don't want to admit that they voted for this. How are you still blaming someone who's no longer in the office? I don't get it. I need truckers to get off their high horse and realize they were always only as special as everyone else in the supply chain. Damn. That's a true point there. But I mean, guys.
Welcome back. So in this video, we took a look at the trucking business, which is on the verge of collapsing because of Donald Trump's tariff war with China. A lot of truck drivers are facing difficulties in order to get load to carry from the various ports to the various distribution centers. And I believe this will take a heavy toll on their income and their personal lives and their livelihood. Now, when Trump engaged in this tariff war with China, it has had a lot of effect on the people of America in diverse ways. There was some time where shelves were becoming empty gradually. And now we look at the business of these truck drivers and it looks like their business is really going down because there are no vessels at the various ports in order for them to transport from the port to the various wholesale and retail distribution point. Now Trump is trying to make America great again, just as he promised in his campaign, and one of the things that he's using his strategies, economic strategies, is to levy taxes or tariffs on goods that are coming in from other countries, forgetting that these other countries may also retaliate. And in the case of China, they have also retaliated, and this is having an effect on the economy of the United States of America. So all these vessels that used to dock at the port halted at some point, and because of that, these truck drivers who were carrying all these goods from the various ports to the various warehouses, retail centers and distribution points are losing up on business because there are no items or goods for them to transport from there to the various retail and then distribution or wholesale points. And this is having a toll on them. So they share their views in this video. And I really like the point that when the voting statistics was put out, about 70% of truck drivers voted in favor of Donald Trump. So this in some way is giving some kind of FAFO moment. People are now finding out, truck drivers are now finding out after they voted in Donald Trump and he implemented this economic policy, that is the tariff war against China, and this is having this toll on their business. Let me know what you also think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just look at the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.